Hello everyone, it is your old pal Living Dead, and today we are taking a look at Of Magma and Meat. This is a GZ Doom only map that comes by special request from Doomax. So we're going to take a look at this one. This one actually came out in July, but that doesn't mean that we can't take a look at it now, you know? So we're going to see what this one looks like. This is Doomax's second map. This features a lot of O-Techs, and seems pretty interesting. The screenshots on the Doom World forums looked pretty good, so I'm pretty excited to check this one out. We are dealing with 173 monsters, 7 secrets, playing with default compatibility settings, and alright, off to a good start. I wonder if that just gets you back up there. We'll try it out. Yep, just a little staircase, okay. And, of course, playing on ultraviolence. But, nice little Quake MIDI here. Oh, shit. Now that is a very cool looking reveal. We have, I don't know, oh, shit, he got killed by the chain gunner. Go ahead and get that guy out of the way. Yeah, playing with free look enabled and auto aim turned completely off. I believe that was the recommendation. Oh shit. I don't think I want to go down there and try that out yet, so I'm going to stay up here on this. I believe this map is a bit of a homage to The Living End, Doom 2 map 29. Oh, really trying to get some infighting going. This is my first foray into Doom for the day, so I'm definitely not warmed up at all, but, you know. I basically say that almost at the beginning of most of my videos. Do you notice a trend here? Yeah, I think this might be an homage to map 29, I believe, is what was stated. So that's kind of a neat way of doing it. And you definitely get that feeling with the cliffside little crawl up here. I can't remember if Mancubies shoot at you from the center area in map 29 or not. It's been a while since I've played that. Let's see what we can find. Do a little exploring. I think there may be a bit of consideration for resource management. I'm not totally sure. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Alright, let's see if we can trick this guy. Oh, he is just up on that pedestal, so... I personally find that turning off auto aim completely and using mouse look actually makes the game generally a lot easier in terms of selecting the target that you want to shoot. I think that the auto aim actually makes that a bit complicated. You know, if there's enemies that are in front of each other and you want to shoot the one in the back or the one up or the one down. And I do find that using turning off auto aim and giving yourself free look makes that actually a good amount easier to deal with. So, okay, so we have found the chain gun. Some more ammo. I'm curious about this whole area, though. Do I need to try to... I wonder if I'll come back this way later. It almost looks like this connects to near where I was. I wonder... I shot the switch here. That looks like a little doorway almost. A door that I could possibly open later. But I'm just thinking there might be... Hopefully there's a way to come back through here later, because I would like to explore the rest of this, but... Oops. For now I'm going to just try to figure out what the progression is. Alright, whoa! Whoa! We'll lure the cacos down this way. Trying to fight them up on the platform is not a good strategy, I don't think. Maybe keep them in the crossfire, the Manx. I doubt the Manx are going to hit one of these cacos. That would be nice, wouldn't it? They're just aiming downward too much, and the caco needs to come down to my level. Come down to my level. I don't need any more cacodemons following me home. I'm just going to have to deal with them as I see them. Love the detailing here so far. Lots of good use of... I love this trickle down of the lava. Looks great. Down into here. Yeah, oop, that's a bit of a misaligned texture down there. Probably. Unless it's meant to be like a lift or something. But the detailing in this is pretty cool. OTEX is really easy to use as a crutch for your design. And I've said it many times before, but it has a way of sort of taking over your style if you don't assert your style well enough, I think, is kind of the way I would put it. I'm not seeing really a sign of that happening so far here. I think that we're getting a good sense of Doomax's style. It looks like these candles are kind of leading me, and maybe the trick of this area is going to be getting that switch accessible. So we'll go through this little meat maze of Magma and Meat. I always like a good meat-themed map. Gets me ready to eat lunch. Ooh, is that a secret back there? Can we get that? Where you come from? Where are you guys coming from? Haha, uh-oh. It's not a secret. It's a trap. It was a trick and it was a trap. I'm hoping that we get some more firepower soon. I don't really know that I want to try to kill all these Manx with just the shotgun. Oh, that was bad. That was a bad decision. And Doomax did provide me some tips on this map. I glossed over them once, and then I forgot to look at them again before I played this map, so I think maybe one of them was about some tips for conserving ammunition. Alright, I had to jump down. So here's the thing is, that switch up there, I'm not totally sure if I wanted to kill all these Manx. I guess I should. I mean, there's no reason not to. And I think in this case, maybe I just don't want to keep them alive so they can just accidentally shoot me in the back. But I will say that as a player, I'm slightly disincentivized or dissuaded from fighting these guys due to the fact that I still only have the pump shotgun. And 4 Manx is a bit grindy with the pump shotgun. It doesn't take that many shots, but, you know, people are impatient. And so where I'm leading with this is that if I did choose to kind of, oh, let me get out of here and hit the switch, I'm going to hit that switch and not really necessarily know what it does. I do think that... I'm not totally sure what happened. I assume one of the platforms raised up or something raised up. But again, I kind of wasn't paying attention, so I did miss whatever that did. It did open this thing up. Not totally sure. I like the use of the shootable switches. It kind of gives you some sigil vibes. Which I didn't actually play. Is that a switch that I missed back there? Maybe that was the one. Did that raise the platform up to that way? Now I want to go back and double check. I'm curious to know. I missed that earlier. Oh, I can go this way. Well, now I do want to go this way. Maybe. Oh, fuck. Go to this teleporter here. Alright. See, it's kind of tricky. These imps clog this area up, and those Manx, you know, if you're not quick enough, I'm sure they can really hit you hard while you're trying to clear up space to get up onto this platform. They're going to continue to be a bit of a hassle for the whole map until I can get up and deal with them. Okay, so here's the thing is now I'm kind of itching for a better weapon. When you lean heavily on this degree of higher tier monsters with just the pump shotgun and the chain gun, it's definitely doable. I mean, the threat level of that is not necessarily super high, although if you make a mistake or two, you can get punished for it. But I don't want to stand there and just pump 2 Hell Knights and 3 Cacos full of single shotgun shells. That's just going to take too long. So I'm going to go maybe lure the Cacos away. I don't actually know really what I'm doing. I'm kind of just doing my thing. wasting the soul sphere that I got, just taking needless hits. Yeah, I gotta give it a second for all those projectiles to go by. And okay, so I could go back and clean up those Hell Knights, and it makes me curious, since I can get there from the beginning, if maybe I'm like missing an important weapon progression. I think in OTEX, these switches are more useful for key color-coded, like keys. But there's nothing really wrong with using that there. Just kind of a point of observation that I've most commonly seen those associated with the key cards. Or the skull keys, I guess, too. Oh, man, I did not want to pick that up. That was a lot of health that I just lost. So I'm going to come back here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come back here and do that one more time. Bit of some texture alignment stuff here. What you could do with this is put a nice little border texture here. Something from like the door folder. You don't have to use like the door track, but there's a lot of good like border textures here, like the metal area. Just break that up because it does look like a bit of a, I don't want to say sloppy. That implies it's got a bit of a negative connotation in the way that I hear it, but it could be a little tighter looking. I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit because this actually looks really good. The layout is really cool, and you know, there's such a thing as a visual set piece in my mind, and this is a good visual set piece. Just this whole, the reveal of this was really cool. So you know, we're taking this from like 90% to 95% in terms of the quality level. I listened to a I don't think it was GDC, Game Developers Conference, but it was one of those. And the lead developer for a game that I really like that has nothing to do with Doom was talking about quality on a chart, a graph. Okay, this is dangerous. I might have messed that up. I'm probably going to catch my first death here. So this makes me wonder, did I like miss a weapon or something? I'm not really sure what the expectation is here for me now. So I'm hoping to have something better. I see now why I got all this health and ammunition. But I can tell you one thing. Now that I know that this is coming, I'm not going to stay up here and fight all these cacos. I'm going to probably jump down there and lure them away. Because otherwise it's just very grindy. And ultimately what I would prefer to do is have a better weapon at this point. So I think if you're gonna bust out this level of damn it, yep, this is getting a little untenable. I'm gonna go this direction. But anyways, the talk was about various and sundry things, but one thing that was talked about was quality. And quality is an asymptote. So if you know what that is in mathematics, you're imagining a chart with a slope, and you might be going like, God damn it. You might be going up at a very quick rate early on in the slope. So from like, you know, 1 to 10, you have a very steep slope, and then as you go further from like 10 to 20 or 30 to 40, the slope begins to flatten out until it... God, okay. So, yes, I am finding this just a little irritating because I don't want to deal with this with just the weapons that I have. So, give me a better gun. It's just not the greatest thing at this point to have to deal with all these cacodemons with nothing better than this pump shotgun. But I'm going to be stubborn and do it this way because I don't know what the alternative is yet. And it's hard to explore and deal with this kind of pressure at the same time. So if the intent is that I need to go somewhere or do something, that needs to be very, very, very obvious, and it needs to be incentivized by something like put a soul sphere so I can see it really easily, or just like a whole bunch of health bonuses to lead me that way. Or a weapon that I'm finally, you know, dying to get. Because I feel like I've either missed a breadcrumb trail or something, or if this is the way I was supposed to do it, then I'm just not finding it the most compelling of the gameplay. But whatever, you know, it's just we're talking about. So to kind of tie this back into what I was saying, so quality is basically an asymptote. So as you make early improvements in quality, it's kind of the same concept as diminishing returns. Like early in the investment process of investing in quality, so to speak, you get a lot for a little, and then as you invest more and more in it, those dollars or those resources go less further and less further until you get close to 100% quality, at which point there isn't really a way to make 100% quality. Going from 90 to 95% requires, you know, as much resource investment as going from, you know, 10 to 50%. And so, you know, at some point you just realize, well, where do I need to actually stop? This is confusing. I don't know what this is here for. If it's a destination at some point. I hit the switch. What did it do? That opened up. I think maybe I'm going that way. I can't tell. I must have missed something. So yeah, it's an asymptote because you can never actually hit 100%. The curve never, it approaches 100%, but it never crosses into 100%. It's always, it never touches. That's what an asymptote is. And so quality, in some ways, is basically an asymptote. So so you know, this type of stuff, this type of geometry and texturing and use of visuals, that's like your 0 to 90% of quality, and then your like 90 to 95% of quality is going for stuff like this texture is not up or unpegged, so, or maybe it is, but it's not aligned vertically, so it's not like if you're doing like this, how easily you're gonna notice it. But I noticed it. I can see. So if you're looking like how do we put that spit shine on it? That's what we're talking about here. Rant over. How long did that take? Jesus. This video is gonna be like 2.5 hours at the pace that I'm going. Okay, so I've dealt with the cacos. Looks like we might be getting some harder munitions here. Some shotgun shells. I hope I didn't miss a super shotgun. I almost feel like I did, but maybe I didn't. I might want to go back and double check what goes on with those Hell Knights if I can get out of this room. This is kind of what happens when I ramble. I apologize. It's hard to provide both quality gameplay and quality discussion at the same time. So, you know, there's a very real possibility we may be splitting the difference a bit. But that also boils down, or that also... Oh, that's a mean trap. Okay, I'm so confused about kind of the progression here now, because it's just been nothing but high-tier enemies. Hell Knights and Cacodemons and Revenants. Stuff that is very grindy to fight with the weapons that I have. And I can go this way, but these Mancubuses put time pressure on me. So... what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm just... So here's where my mind is as a player, is I'm fixated on, I don't care about progression anymore. I don't care about where the key cards are. I want a new weapon. That is literally the single thing that I'm thinking of right now. Every decision I'm making is in service to finding a new weapon. This rocket launcher. And not a moment too soon. Oh, don't make me wait for it. Just give me the rocket launcher. Come on, man. How long is this going to take? Yes, I've already mentioned how I do not want to fight all these enemies with this anymore. I don't want to run around. I don't want to run away from enemies. I don't play Doom to not shoot things. Okay, finally. Go back up and get that rocket launcher now. I appreciate the concept from a puzzle or combat puzzle perspective. But I think that there's a balance in terms of, you know, frustrating the player to some degree, or like how much it contributes towards the gameplay experience. You know, if you're doing it because you like the idea, or if you're doing it because you think the idea genuinely contributes towards the gameplay experience. And if you are in writing, I know, and it's not just exclusive to writing, but I most commonly hear this. Oh, Jesus. I saw the other one over here too, but he is locked up, I think. Nope. And I still only have the pump shotgun. Oh. Okay. But the parlance or the phrase is, you know, kill your darling, so don't be so in love with an idea that you wouldn't be willing to cut it if it, you know, if it was the better decision for the overall experience. I think that this is a really good puzzle setup, but I also question its existence in terms of the sequence of the map, just given how my personal feelings about the grindiness up to this point have kind of felt. I genuinely don't know if I missed like a super shotgun, because it kind of almost feels that way. And I personally just start to get a little tilted when it's just like constantly heavy hitting enemies without a lot of hardware. I want faster paced, punchy combat in Doom. I don't really want to spend a lot of time running away from stuff, or like, it's okay if it's portions of the map, but I don't want the entire map to be that way. It's a bit of an odd way to hide it, but I'm kind of amused by it. So, you know, it's just kind of like the pacing of the map and how it kind of all stacks up together, I think, is an important consideration. And again, these are not necessarily, like, this isn't prescriptive. Like, I think that Doomax has to do this way, or has to do this a different way. I'm just pointing this out, that this is how my personal experience so far has felt. But also, you know, if you're going to make these kinds of maps, these are the decisions you want to be cognizant of as a map author. That's all it is. So I don't know what that switch did. I haven't found any of the secrets. Is this a secret? Nope. So I'll pick that back up. A lot of health at least, so... Oh, here we go. Alright. That's cool. Was this the way that I was supposed to go? I like that moving lava fall. Huh. So this brings you back this way. So maybe this is not... Is this progression? I can't really tell. Like, to go this way anyways. How else would you get up here? I'll take these rockets. But, again, I would really like a super shotgun, please. Oh, for real? I have 21 rockets. Oh, that was a bad dodge. Whew. One pinky just to kind of clog you up. All right. That was a pretty nasty trap. I had literally just enough rockets, minus a few, just to deal with it. So just some thoughts. I really love maps that kind of lean into the like kind of body horror, the flesh look. Some thoughts for me, anyways. Use some blood pools to kind of just increase the creepiness factor a little bit. Think about the way that flesh can like drip off the ceiling maybe, and do some like sector detailing with like dripping flesh possibly. And then you could use some mid texture or some you know, textures on the walls of like blood dripping and pooling in places. That would be pretty cool for detailing this a little bit. That's something that I would do personally anyways. I want a crusher to kill these mancubuses when I don't want to have to shoot them. And I don't have any reason for that other than feeling a bit spiteful. What is the point of this? Because those mancubuses have pissed me off so much going up to this part of the map. I'm really confused. How did I get up? Like, how is the way to get up here naturally? Oh, okay. So maybe the switch that I hit brought me back out here. This is a very switch-heavy map in terms of unlocking new parts of the progression. I would just... Oh, cool. So we have like a little tree area. I like this. This looks really good. Hey, Clippy, take a look at this tree. Take a look at this tree, Clippy. If you're going to rely so heavily on switches, just make sure you're doing everything you can to signal what it is that they do. It needs to be... Holy shit! What was that? Okay, hold on. I need to back up real quick because I don't really know what just happened, but that was very surprising to me. Okay, that was cool as shit. So let me take a look here. I'm very curious to know how this was accomplished and what exactly just happened. So I can go this way. That doesn't really lead me anywhere. Mancubus is going to continue to harass me. So... Okay. Alright, so saving, and I'm going to go in here. That doesn't do anything. I think I got teleported to a new area. But that is very cool. That is a very cool reveal. But again, more revenants, and I don't understand. If I miss the pump shotgun, or the super shotgun, you know, I am going to feel a little dumb. But, God damn it. I'm just... I recognize what this is going for in the living end. I'm just very confused. In general, I'm just really confused. So I'm going along with this. But it's like kind of nagging. God damn it, more cacodemons. It's kind of, personally speaking, it's just dominating my thoughts because I don't know. I'm just so confused. Have I missed another pain elemental? No, why is all this stuff happening? I don't have any... I don't have any stuff to deal with these guys. Alright, what have I missed? Where is the super shotgun? I'm about to... I wish I had not quick saved there. Can I just back up? Nope, the cacos just come out no matter what. Okay. I'm about to pause this. If I don't figure out the super shotgun in a second here, I'm gonna pause this and look in the map editor and see if I missed it somewhere, because I'm just so confused about why I'm dealing with so many high tier enemies with just the pump shotgun and like no rockets, barely any bullets. I know resource management is a thing. I know that I'm playing on ultraviolence, but I'm so confused. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. I'm gonna come back this way one more time. It feels like I missed... Ugh. Oh, I saved while I was getting hit by a fucking Mancubus fireball. cacodemons have caught up. Okay. God, there's gotta be a super shotgun somewhere. Those cacodemons are gonna catch up to me. I have 43 shells to deal with, like 6 cacodemons. What do I do? Oh, I can't shoot through that? What's going on here? Oh my god. Okay, if I have to wait 20 minutes for this to open... Okay. Fuck! God, these Manx in the middle are just relentless. It's crazy. Okay. This feels a little better, but I seriously disagree with the notion of placing the super shotgun on one side of a split path. I don't know if this is progression or if this is an optional path. But I say, god damn it, I just cannot... Don't make the super shotgun that easy to miss. It needs to be very easy to find. Because you'll probably have players like me who just go out of their way unintentionally to miss it. And now I don't have any ammo. I gotta try to go back to that other area that is the homage to Living End and try to figure out how I'm supposed to deal with all the pain elementals and everything else. Ugh. What am I missing? This is obviously something. Something is here. I just cannot figure it out. So... I need secrets, I need ammo, I need anything. I know what this is going to do. I don't really have the resources to deal with this either. So I guess I'll just go back this way. I'm kind of at a loss for what I should try to do right now. This is bugging me. I can't really figure out what this is. Is there anything to see? All right. Well, I gotta go back up this way. Okay. I guess I'll go back in this direction. I mean, I came out with the super shotgun, but I'm actually worse off than I was before I came this way because I have less health. I have no armor now. And I have almost no ammo. So I have 10 rockets and cacodemons in pursuit. And I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with all the pain elementals with all this. At least backtracking has afforded me to be able to find... Oh, here's something I missed. I like that there's some optional stuff. Oh, never mind. This is... I remember this. Okay. A lot of health still here. I think I might have accidentally picked up most of the ammo, though. Okay. I'm just looking for any resources. Okay. I just I got plasma. I've got a lot of plasma, but I don't know where the plasma gun is. So, yeah, I think if you're going to make, you know, resource constraint and stuff like this much, it's really hard to get that balance right with such a non-linear layout. I mean, there's a linear progression, but there's multiple ways to go, and of course it's apparently possible to kill over half the monsters in the map without discovering the super shotgun. You have to really be cognizant of the way that the flows of the map push the player into things that they need to find. So I think that in general it's probably a good practice. Like, if you want to make, you know, exploration and resource scarcity kind of a challenge. Oh, that was a waste. Then you have to, I think you have to make it so that it's much more guaranteed that the player will find things, even if there's a lot of optional ways for them to go. Otherwise, it gets very easy to just miss things. And that's a tough balance to strike. I think it's not easy to do. All right. On the other hand, there's a lot of consideration, at least that I need to do on my part, to decide what the ideal weapon to use is, and make sure that I'm not relying on one thing too much. And, of course, to make sure that I'm being good with my shots and everything else. And I think that's a good aspect, too. Like, it probably sounds like I'm being overly critical. And I hope that's not the way that it's taken. I'm just, it's just kind of how I tend to analyze things. Especially if it's, like, off the cuff and in the moment. Alright. Well, you have really tantalized me with all this plasma ammo. I don't know what I have accomplished by this, but I'm hoping that I'll be finding a plasma gun soon. So some things you can do, again, to tighten up the visual design too is more border textures, especially where these things touch. You don't have to, but like that'll really like make everything pop. Again, like here too, especially these door tracks that probably were not lower unpegged. Make these like a border texture of some kind. It just really gives that extra just, final touch. So another cool looking little tree thing. I guess we're going to go past that. Oh boy, rad suit. So that's going to be a resource constraint. I also, would love to have a berserk pack if you're going to do this kind of resource constraints. I think a berserk pack would be nice to give the player too. I mean, again, I have only found one secret. I just don't really see what is kind of signaling the secrets to me overall. I'm not great at finding them a lot of times. But, and also, I think it's kind of harder to find secrets with certain texture packs, at least in my experience. More plasma ammo. So, I must have missed a plasma gun somewhere. Maybe... Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna run and try to get this before anything else happens. Oh, fucking pain elemental! Oh... God damn it. Oh, how do I get out of here? Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna probably die here. Oh, this is tough. And, oh man. Now I'm not in a good place with health again. But I know how to, I know where to go back and get some at least. That's good. If I can figure out how to Get back there. All right, these guys are dying finally. I'm done with these. I'm done with these Manx. Am I hitting him? Yeah, I have to be hitting him. Yeah, because his fireballs can go through. Are there more? No. No, they teleport back. God damn it. They teleport back in when you kill them. Hold on, let me just double check that. He dies. Oh, Archvile resurrects him. Fuck off with that. Oh my god, okay. Well. Oh, really? I can't go back? I need to go back so bad. I, like, really need to go back badly. What did I miss? Did I miss a switch? One down there. This way. Good use of the candles to help direct your eyesight. Honestly, one thing that's done really well in this map is the like arena signposting of like the different paths you can go through in the arenas and across the level. Signposted very well, so it's not that hard to figure out how to navigate through the individual areas. That's done very well. Is this another backpack? Okay. Man, the one time I need to, like, I really need to be able to go back. I guess I could try to drop off into the lava. Into the liquid hot magma. But now it's kind of too late for that. Ooh, a megasphere. What kind of sturdy trick is this gonna be? Well... There's no way that's all this is. Yep, it's just a sequence of Archviles. Okay. Is it going to be 3 next time? Yep. Oh! Really? Not a single... Okay, well... That could have gone way worse. I'll take that. I'll take that. Did I pick anything up, or was that just to give me a resupply? I don't know. Unless... Okay, and there's this here, too. I can see the path to get to that. Okay. Alright. Well, now I'm finally getting some resources, so that feels a little bit better, but... I would very strongly encourage consideration of, especially the beginning parts of the map. Again, to kind of compare this to the writing process, I'm sort of the opinion that, like if you're how do I say this without sounding like condescending maybe, but like, okay, so if you're an author that like people are very aware of, and your work has like a, you know, a very solid reputation, I have a feeling that people are going to be more willing to give a pass for stuff that is unconventional in terms of like the map openings and things like that. But if you're kind of still finding your way or cutting your teeth, then what, like, you know, the ideal thing you want to do, I just want to jump up there and get that, by the way, is, you know, you really want to front load your map with a good experience. This is tricky. This is very tricky. You know, if you're like writing a book, right? You like want that opening chapter. You want even the first line of your book to really like give the reader a reason to keep going. I always think back to one of my favorite book series, The Dark Tower by Stephen King, and Gunslinger. And the opening line of that book just really sets the stage in terms of tone and mystery and everything else. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Such a simple line that really conveys a lot in its brevity of words. And it really gives you a reason to want to keep reading. Now, whether or not that book is actually good is up for debate depending on who you are. But to tie it back into mapping, it's like, you really want your opening part of your map, the beginning chapters or whatever else, to really impress people and give them an incentive to like keep going. And at least in my opinion, if it's kind of hard to kind of unpack what it is that players should be doing, or if it's easy to miss things, if somebody puts your map down once, like, think about how likely it is that they'll come back and play it again or play the rest of it. So, ultimately you're trying to avoid making people quit, because if somebody quits, you can probably just count you can count them out. And so it can be very beneficial. I love this area, by the way. It can be very, these mancubuses, and the fact that they come back to life. I just it can you really want to make the beginning accessible. So something like, making it easy to miss crucial weapons like the super shotgun. I think, so am I back this way now? Have I made a circuit? It can be kind of a detriment. And so I would just, consider, I would urge an author to consider that, how can you make it so that people are less likely to kind of put the map down? Very interesting here. It's been a bit kind of sporadic in terms of the themes of the individual areas, but I actually don't dislike that. It's like kind of being taken from one vignette to the next, in terms of how the map progresses. And you would wonder, like, why is there this random bathroom? I guess maybe it's kind of like a city that sort of like sunk into a magma crater, like a hell crater. And so there's like different buildings and stuff that kind of remained. It kind of feels that way, but also kind of doesn't really. But it's not a bad thing. I like surreal Doom experiences, so it is just kind of amusing to me that like we go through, hell areas and gothic areas and little park areas, and now we're just in like a little random like urban bathroom with blood all over the place. And urinals, the little the urinal troughs, instead it's just blood coming out, and a mirror that actually works, and interesting use of lighting here. And then the progression actually requires you to go into the bathroom stall. Alright, I'm gonna save here. The Doom cute food is fantastic. This is great. Another thing to kind of it's like they bake the pizzas and then they have a way to send them out to the bar for the customers. God, that is great. We got some pepperoni, and I don't know what that is, but if that's pineapple, I'm going to be very pissed. So here's another consideration, right? Like, look how much this Doom cute makes you just want to stand around and look at it. But I'm also aware of the fact that, like, these mancubuses have just been harassing me the whole time. So I don't get a lot of... It seems like maybe I have this time, but you could very easily imagine the player in a situation where they, like, want to look at something that's cool and they just can't. So if you're gonna do that, just always be cognizant of something like that is kind of, I guess, where I'm going with this. So, what have I done? I hit the switch. Oh no, okay. At least I have a better way to deal with these guys now. Anyone else? Alright, alright. I missed what the switch did. So that's kind of been my... I know part of that is my fault. But I talked a lot about this in aspect of my aspect of dataless mapping diary, which if this kind of discussion of this type of stuff is interesting to you, you should check out, because I made a lot of these types of mistakes too, where it's like you endeavor to put the player under like a lot of pressure because it's, you know, it's fun. It makes them make, you know, step out of their comfort zone and make decisions in the moment, you know, when most people would prefer to have time to kind of slow down and think about what they're doing. That's not a bad thing. But then when you kind of make the progression, especially like based on switches, and I just can't really see what that switch did because I was just kind of concerned about not getting hit, or that's happened a couple of times. It can make it way easier for people to get lost when they're playing the level. So you have a balance to strike, and it can be very easy to make a mistake in terms of where that balance lies. And especially when the progression requires backtracking. I'm not completely sure if I was supposed to go... I'm not sure what I was supposed to have done just then. I think this was correct. Well, I mean, of course it was. This is new stuff happening, but it just, like, I went into the little pizza restaurant, I hit the switch, and then I came back here just because I was confused about what I should do. I think in most scenarios, so this is good. It needs to be very, very easy for the player to figure out what a switch does. Very, very easy. Switches should be really close. They should be looking directly at what they change. And there's so many switches in this map that I'm not completely clear which ones have resulted in what elements of progression happening. I need to pause real fast to check my phone. Okay. We're back. We're back. Where did those cacos go? So I went back this way. I hit that switch. I opened this up. Yeah, I'm not completely sure what I achieved in terms of the progression. I mean, I can see what has changed, but I'm not completely clear how it has helped me get to the end of the map. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm very confused right now. And I don't recall seeing a blue key door other than that one room where I picked it up. So, what do I do? I've enabled some degree of backtracking. Do I need to backtrack? Do I want to backtrack? I don't. Did these change and I didn't notice it? Or was it always like that? Okay, now this is unlocked. Ah, these fucking mancubuses, man. Just getting really annoying. Just, let me kill the mancubuses. Don't make them resurrect, please. Just let me kill them. I don't really think there's much of a point in making them resurrect, unless it's like for the final battle. But, to just be harassed by the mancs the whole time, I'm ready to be done with it, personally speaking. Okay. And the other thing, too, is, right, like, I can't even hear what it is that the switches are doing as kind of part of the problem, too. I think what can help out a lot with something like this... Now, I do see that it raised this platform, so I assume that I've more or less unlocked the path to the end. But, even making, like, a little model or some kind of visual indicator outside... Oh, Jesus. 2 cyber demons. Okay. Let's see. So, 2 cyber demons and 168 cells. Oh, this is not going to happen. Can I just leave? Nope. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. That is very cool. That is very cool. Is that like the is this like the hellified version of this area? I love that. I love these types of like Serious Sam style portals. Can you shoot through it? That's cool. I know I'm cheating, but I don't care. Yeah, just let me kill those Macubuses. That didn't really add anything to the fight to have them there. It seemed like they were getting resurrected, possibly. I couldn't really tell, but just let me kill them. Because at the beginning, I don't really have the ammo to deal with it. Once I've gotten enough ammo, I feel like that's kind of like the way that the player earns freeing themselves from the oppressive Macubuses. Macubies. So just let me kill them when I have the ammo to do it. But you know what? I complained a lot. I know it's very nitpicky in the way that I describe this map, but I'll be honest with you. I think it's actually a really good map. It's just, again, we're dealing with that asymptote of quality. And, these are the things that take you from, like, a good map to a pretty good map to a really good map to a great map, etc., etc. I'd say this is a pretty good map overall. It's very thoughtful. And it's not too confusing. It's just you run into this kind of contradiction or this sort of trade-off where the amount of pressure that you're on makes it hard for you to understand what's happening sometimes. And the resource constraints make it hard for you to kind of figure out what you may be missing, or then, you know, with the nonlinear progression to some degree. So there's just a few things in terms of the give and take or the balance of the progression versus the resources and everything else that is probably just in need of some fine tuning, or at least in a future map where you kind of go about it a little bit of a different way. But it reminds me a lot of the things that I learned from my aspect of dataless map, and especially some of the things that I talk about in that mapping diary about how the decisions you make and the way that you structure things can actually kind of sabotage certain plans that you have for the map. That doesn't necessarily mean this map is a failure or anything like that. I think it's pretty successful. I love the autumn versus the springtime trees, by the way. That's a really cool thing. It's just again, you know, kind of bringing it from a 90% to a 95%, or from a 95% to a 99%. Getting your map up to like 90% good requires as much investment as getting your map up to from 90 to 99% good, if that makes sense. And these are the kinds of things that you learn as a mapper as you get more experience and you play around with it, especially also playing a lot of Doom and doing your own note-taking. And that's partially one of the reasons why I started making these types of videos in the first place, is just to kind of help myself analyze Doom a little bit better. The texturing here, so it looks like the intent is to keep the lip of the texture aligned with the lip of the elevation, which is fine. But you want to use a border texture to break these up in some way, because it's obvious. And so like a metal texture here, like on the corner, is probably a good way to do it, or on this corner, possibly. Again, these are just like mostly nitpicky looking things at this point. It's just pretty good use of OTEX. Other things that you could try to do for future maps is maybe play around a little bit more with the lighting, although, you know, for the most part, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is, the shadow here is cast by the light of the central area, and it's actually faded. So you can definitely tell that that's darker than these sectors here. So, you know, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the lighting. That's pretty good. If you really wanted to, you could extend the shadow, although it almost looks like Doomax uses the same sort of logic that I do. It's that lava gives off light, and so it's hard to... It doesn't make sense to put a lot of shadows in lava areas, because the lava would create shadows, not have shadows on it. What else? I don't know. It's a pretty good map. I think for a second map, this is fantastic, by the way. And I hope that doesn't sound like an underhanded comment, like, oh, it's good for a second map. No, that's not what I mean. It's just we're in the stage now where it's like very clearly Doomax has a grasp on more basic, you know, or on the tenets of mapping, and now their challenge is how do you elevate your mapping to the next level? And so hopefully this helps elucidate some of those ways that you can do that and some considerations. I'm looking forward to seeing what this author comes up with next, because this is a very good, thoughtful map. It is a, you know, homage to the Living End, but it's not a ripoff. Kind of has its own soul, and that's great. That's if you're going to make an homage to something and you manage to make it distinct in your own way, I think you have succeeded. So interested to see what happens next with this author's maps and projects, and I think that more or less covers it for me. This has been a very long video up to this point already, so I thank you very much for tuning in, and if you watched it all the way to the end, 500 bonus points to you and your family that you can spend at Christmas or redeem in the Living Dead gift shop. If you have a map that you would like me to play, you're more than welcome to suggest it to me in the comments or on Doomworld. And I'll be back with the next video. But thanks for tuning in, and take care.